In this video, I'll discuss personally identifiable information. In the IT field, personally identifiable information is simply called PI or PII. These are unique attributes that are related to an individual. PI is stored with some kind of agency or institution or private sector firm, and there are laws and regulations in place in different industries and different parts of the world for protection of PI. One standard is that PI owners must be notified that their personal information is being collected. They also must be notified about how it's going to be used. Examples of PI include personal information such as a person's full name, their birth date, their driver's license master number, social security number, email address, their mother's maiden name, and anything related to biometrics like a fingerprint scan or an eye retinal scan. PI harvesting, for example, would be used to trick victims into updating passwords on a fraudulent website. So the harvesting part comes in because the malicious user is reaping the rewards of somehow tricking people into divulge sensitive personal information. And often this could come in the form of an email message that looks like a legitimate message from the bank, asking a user to reset their password, for instance. The best defense here is user training. User training should emphasize the problems that can occur with email file attachments, especially those that the user was not expecting, but there are even risks with opening file attachments a user was expecting. Of course, links to other websites and email messages should always be treated very cautiously, and also links posted on social media sites, whether it's Twitter or Facebook, especially if it relates to an individual, might be a way to lure a user into clicking a link, often due to human curiosity, and then once that happens, the machine could be infected. PI falls under organizational data classification rules. So, for example, we might configure a PI confidentiality impact level of low, medium, or high, depending on the content within database records or files on a file server. PI can be stored on premises, and depending on rules or regulations and laws about how that PI is treated, when it's on premises, it might need to be encrypted, there might need to be backup copies stored off site, and so on. In the cloud, we have to think about storage of PI where it might not be allowed due to laws and regulations, or if it is, it might be required on cloud provider data center equipment within national boundaries. And again, encryption for data at rest or stored data is often associated with PI as well as while it's being transmitted. PI owners, as we mentioned, must be notified of how their PI will be used. So if their personal information is going to be shared with other vendors within or outside of national boundaries, they must know about it and they must consent to this usage. In this video, we discussed personally identifiable information.